that everything is okay here or not. Yeah, okay, so alright, that's fine. Alright, so I will talk about this MMT. So what is a MMT, modern monetary theory? Why it's important in the post-COVID-19 era? So this theory was raised up by this professor, Stephanie Kelton. I will tell you the MMT is very, very important to know. And you will know, okay, this will completely make sense if you understand now. Government deficit is our surplus. This is the main what she is talking about, what she is advocating here. So what do you mean? So who owns the money? This money is issued by government. So the government owns the money, right? So why? It's because the government is always tagged with central bank, and in central bank, if they need the money, for example, currently COVID-19 era, we have to support the citizen. So we have to, like the US this week they did, they are distributing a lot of money to the people. So why they can do that? Because government can control money. They can issue the money. How? Central bank, they have the right to issue money. Here I can show you. So this is three different people here. Powell, he is a central bank. This is a government sector. This the Biden, he is a government side, and then people here. Now we want to support the people. What do? We ask the central bank, hey, can you guys buy the national bond? Because we need money. Then the power will say, okay, I can buy for you. I will just give the money to you guys. Now that this government can distribute this money to everybody, to these people. So they can repeat this process indefinitely. Because the central bank, they have a right to issue the money, and then the government always they have this the national bond, so they can sell it to the central bank. They can retrieve the money from this central bank and then pass to everybody. So the balance sheet wise, this deficit side, they can just keep increasing the money, and then that will be going to people's pocket. And then the balance sheet wise, it's like this. Our surplus is their deficit. That is what she means. Then you may wonder, tax. Do we need to pay tax, right? I think so, right? Because if the central bank can issue the money, and then the government can distribute the money to everybody, do we need to have tax? Actually, yes, we still need to have tax. But why we need to have tax? Because government is just supplying money to the people, and eventually it's overflowing. When the things like this kind of tank here, it's just pouring the water. Eventually, we may see the water is overflowing. That overflowing is inflation. We have to take some water back, and then that is a tax. That's what she mentioned. This professor mentioned. Then the government, what is their role? What they have to do? The government is the motivation booster. They have to boost the people's motivation by giving the money. That is their real role. So the GDP wise, this one is the Japanese here, but GDP wise, I can explain here. So the right to graph is showing how much the money supply. and this black one is the Australia, and then left side is the GDP. So the GDP, of course, like GDP is growing if like government supply more money, because like it's just a number. If you just increase the number, then each country's number is also increasing. So this graph is showing if each government supply more money, that will be reflected on this GDP too. So there's no government debt. Yes, there's no such a government debt, because government debt is supposed to support the people. When we accept MMT, there are two assets we don't need. Actually, it's still controversial, but whether it's need or not need. But there's two hedge asset is doubtful when we accept this MMT. One is Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin is old economic theory. Why? It's because like the Bitcoin's idea is it's completely opposite of this MMT. They trying to prevent the government from the government issuing the money. So if the government, because the reason why this Satoshi Nakamoto brought us this Bitcoin's idea is because he's worrying about the inflation, and the inflation could happen if the government issued more money, like Zimbabwe now. But so that's why they have the limited count of the money, limited to the issued money. That is a Bitcoin. And then also the gold. Previously, when we before the Nixon, President Nixon, U.S. bank, central bank has to have the gold along with the actual money. So like if they issue the money, they have to prepare the actual gold. But after the Nixon, that rule has been banned, prohibited. I mean, like it was it gone away. So we don't use that theory anymore. So we don't have to. The government or like the bank doesn't have to prepare the gold, actual gold. So after that, these two hedge is because these two hedge is based on old economics theory, not like this MMT. So that's why this is kind of opposite of this MMT idea. There's a good case study that this professor mentioned, that is Japan. Why? Because like Japan, they have 238% the debt compared to the GDP. That is huge, more than Greece. And but still the country is running okay. Why? It's because, but still like they are just supplying money more. But still the inflation is not going up. Actually, like the Japan is deflation for a long time, 20-30 years. Why these things happen? This one is the interest rate. Interest rate is currently minus 0.1. So if you just leave the money into the bank, that means that they take it, your money. So you cannot leave the money into the bank. Although that is not the long-term interest rate. This is the short-term interest rate. That means the relationship between the central bank and the bank. Bank is supposed to deposit money into the central bank. That money is minus 0.1. Okay. Why the money doesn't circulate? Like in spite of like they actually supplying a lot of money to the citizen, but still it didn't go to the inflation. Why these things happen in Japan? Why? Because Japan is central bank is issuing a lot of money, and that money is going to the each bank, like normal private bank. Then they actually there's no borrower. Like not many people like to borrow the money from the bank. So they have no motive to buy house. They have no motive to make a new company. They have no new motive to do something, like something to spend. So that's why the inflation don't happen, and then also the money doesn't circulate inside here like people. So it's just to keep like the money is just increasing in the bank. But they are still looking for the people who want to borrow money, but it's not easy. So that is happening here. So what is the theory this MMT is expecting? So this is one of the example. Steve Jobs, right? Oh, I came up with a good idea. Let's make an iPhone. If he says so, he can just ask the bank to create to pass the money to him. But what bank will do? Bank actually doesn't have to have the gold behind this actual money. They can just put the number and pass the number to Steve Jobs. This one is called like bank credit creation, and it doesn't exist. It just exists as a number. So when somebody borrows the money, then the money is created. That is what's happening in the MMT. MMT, this theory, they say so. So once he borrow, he can just do. Okay, so this one is okay. So he can just create the iPhone now, right? So after he created the iPhone, he just pass this iPhone to everybody, and the company Apple is making a lot of revenue, a lot of profit, and also the wage is going up, and people are happy because they can play game, they can talk, and they can chat. They have many different application, and then the application developer is also creating different things. Everybody happy. What he did is he's making great progress. He's making the innovation. So if he didn't make the iPhone, what's gonna happen? The bank doesn't have to make this the bank credit creation. That means it's zero. So the money cannot generate here. So he just say goodbye to bank, and then he's gone, and then there's no innovation, there's nothing, no wage up, no job creation, like that. So nothing happened. MMT, the money is created when somebody is borrowing. So what is the expectation from this MMT? MMT is basically expecting for like the motive, like we are just creating the motive for the people to create something, some innovation. So if we pass the money to the other people has some motive. Okay, I want to make the world better place. So I will create this company, that company. I want to create the phone. I want to create the electronic car, blah blah blah. So they can consider about that kind of thing. Eventually, they brought us the innovation. Then that's why our life is very nice in this modern era. Roman emperor, right here. That time, yes, these people has a huge power. But however, compared to us, are they happy? I mean, like they don't have the mobile game. They don't have like nice the food. Like we can eat like any food, like like French food, the Indian food, Japanese food, Chinese food. But in Roman emperor, like they don't have enough. Like they also don't have like medical, high medical the treatment. So now life is better. Why? Because many people in the past they made the innovation. Then why they made the innovation? Because the money trigger their motive, and eventually they made an innovation. So MMT, the most important thing is not chasing the digit of the money or GDP. Important thing is create innovation through the motive of money. So this is a good thing about MMT. So because they can just issue the money from the government, and the government is just to stimulate the people. Please borrow money, and you guys can do the great things in the future, and you guys can create the many different innovation. And they borrow money, and some people could be successful. They can create the huge company, and eventually that will contribute to the society. And then that is an expectation from MMT. And then the risk of this MMT is inflation. And then this Stephanie Kelton is also mentioning about this risk of the MMT is inflation. So we have to control, we have to monitor how much money is into the market, and if the money is too much overfloating, we have to take out by using the tax. So the government is not a player like us, or not a dealer like here, like casino. They don't play on the same table. They kind of like referee in the soccer or anything. So they actually controlling, trying to make the games they can control the game so that this game can move smoothly. So that's what they are doing, and also what they have to do in the MMT. Then recap, okay, so the government debt is student surplus. Government is motivator for the innovation of the society. There is no bankruptcy of the government because they can make money. Inflation may happen, so need to check whether the market has enough money or not. So that is the MMT. And then of course, like some the government who doesn't have the right to issue, for example, euro. For the drachma, now they back to they are out of this EU, so they have the central bank. But before, they used to belong to the EU, and then they didn't have the control of the money issue. So that's why they face this bankruptcy. So rest of the EU member is also facing the same issue because they cannot issue the money. Okay, so that's it here. Okay, so this is it for today. Do you have any question? Okay, if it's not, then I think that's it. Thank you so much.